Flight bus, bitch. You know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel URIEL, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now I want to do the metaphysics on Pacman. That's right, the Namco game. Miss Pacman or Pacman or whatever one you play. I want to do the metaphysics on it. Now, before we get into it, I want to make this disclaimer real fast. Now, say I created something right now, right? And I gave you my meaning and reasoning why I created it. Now, nothing's truly new under the sun. But let's just say 40 to 50 years later, someone do the metaphysics on what I just created. Now, when they do the metaphysics on it, right, whatever they explain may not have nothing to do with the idea of why I created this in the first place 40 years ago. You see what I'm saying? But when I say nothing is truly new under the sun, then we truly get our concepts from the same source. So once you understand energetic frequency and understand energy, then you will realize that it doesn't matter what a man or woman perceive, and the calculation and imaginations and the ideas that they came up with that in the first place, what it's actually doing is what matters. You see what I'm saying? What it's actually doing, that's what matters. What is the energy doing? Not the shape and form, not what it's called, not the name of it, not what it looked like, what the energy is doing. And once you get into that frequency vibration, you will understand that, okay, it doesn't matter what we're talking about, we can know where it came from and the source. So I say that to say this, because when I get into this metaphysics, the way I'm explaining this may have nothing to do with the meanings or reasonings of why the person who created Pacman made up Pacman. But when I say nothing is new up under the sun, they truly didn't get their information from anywhere else but the source. So it's going to correlate to this anyway. Now, let's get into it. Now, before we get into the aspects, what is the concept of Pacman? Now, Pacman, or Miss Pacman, when you look at Pacman, what does Pacman look like? The sun. Now, it's representing the sun. Now, Pacman is in a maze. So the maze work as a backdrop. So when you look at behind the maze, right, you see blackness, you see space. That's the rainbow waters. The outlining, which is what's drawing out the maze, is the actual rotation of the flows, of the waves. The maze is a realm of reality, and it got certain laws and algorithms and directional paths it got. Now within this maze and this location, it got different levels to it. That's why you got many different levels. I think it's like 32, or it's a gang of levels of Pacman. But each one is a different location within space. So it has a different rotation, different maze for the sun to travel. Now, when we look at the pills, the quote-unquote pills, look at these as planets. So Miss Pacman or Pacman, first of all, when you look at Miss Pacman, you see that there's a male Pacman, and you see that they have a child. So this lets you know, this should put you in the frequency vibration that the sun may be experiencing similar realities like you. See what I'm saying? Now, for the most part, the pills are the planets. Pills are planets. Now, you have the ghost. I think it's like 4 ghosts. You have the ghost. The ghost represents colors. Now the colors is the vibration, frequency, feelings, emotions. The same way the maze is outlined, and whatever level you on is going to be outlined in a different color. That maze represents the color, the logic, what we can logically perceive out of that wave and where it's going and things of that nature. But the backdrop is truly the dark, the space, all the colors in one. You see what I'm saying? Now, you're eating these planets as Pacman. You're eating these planets as in a rotation. So you're gaining, coming into density, adding more weight, which in realms of realities that will play out as gaining more information, gaining more density, gaining more dimension, gaining, you know what I'm saying? Going down. Now, when you look at the ghost, what are the ghosts doing? If you get caught by the ghost stops your path. So ultimately, the concept is the ghost is trying to stop you from eating all the planets. You see what I'm saying? So, the ghost, what does ghost represent in any type of realm of reality? Spirit, conscious, soul. You see what I'm saying? So if the ghost is representing this, and they have a color to them, these are spirits of consciousness on a higher dimension, on a higher density than Pacman is. You see what I'm saying? And Pacman can't physically do nothing with them, but they can physically stop Pacman. So this is them. This is like angels or spirits or demons, whatever. Let's just say spirits. If it's a high spirit, it's an angel. If it's a low spirit, it's a demon. But let's just say spirits. Now these four spirits are following, trying to stop the sun from eating. So these spirits is trying to teach the sun some form of morality or something like that. Some form of, you know what I'm saying, conservedness, some form of, you know what I'm saying, moderation. Don't eat all the planets. But check this out. You got the power, they say the quote-unquote power pills. But let's look at it like bigger planets, right? You got the bigger planets. And when Pacman eat one of these, it enables Pacman to actually eat one of the spirits. So let's say the spirits start blinking. So that means the spirits are received now. So anytime Pacman eat one of those big pills, big planets, the ghost, they all turn the same color. They come into physical form. But let's look at it like this. Nah, they're able to be perceived now. They're able to be seen now. So look at the big pills as bigger planets. So you got Venus and Mars, but look at those compared to Jupiter. Now what does Jupiter represent? Wisdom, knowledge, experience. So with wisdom and knowledge and experience, you are able to realize things, right? So realize is seeing something. You're able to see it, realize it with your real eye. You see what I'm saying? So you're able to see it. So when Pacman take a bigger planet, aka a bigger pill, you can call that like Jupiter planets. That's when Pacman, the sun, eat one of those planets and then is able to realize the spirits it was getting attacked by. Is able to experience it and is able to eat that information. And don't let that conscience bother it or follow it around or try to stop it from its path of being greedy. Now, we know the more this is given the sun power, because now we have to get into the fruit. Anytime you eat, you shed, or anytime you express, or anytime you eat with your soul and then express, you could see the fruits and labor out of it. So the more planets, the more information that Pacman is eating, it gets to receive the fruits and labor out of it. So when the fruit pop up, you can eat the fruit and get even more points, because it's a whole bunch of souls. See what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of souls in one, and it plays out as something that's nice to eat. So Pacman, the metaphysics of Pacman, is like a sun on its way to become a universe. Now the sun eating all these planets, eating all these stars, is on its way to become a black hole. You see what I'm saying? Now you have spirits following the sun, trying to steer it in directions of making it not be so greedy. So this is why the ghost is trying to, so the ghost is actually the villains is always the underlying heroes. That's what you need to understand. The villains is always, you playing Pacman, trying to hurry up and reach to the power pills and not get caught, when in all actuality, the ghost in Pacman is the good guys. They're trying to maintain order, so this motherfucking sun don't take all the spirit that's within it and use that sun vessel as a body to become powerful and take over the whole shit. They're trying to stop your path the whole fucking time. Motherfucking Blinky and Pinky and motherfucking them. They trying to stop your path the whole fucking time, because your ass is trying to take motherfucking over. And your ass ain't got no thought to know to slow down. So you eating up all these motherfucking planets, making all these kids, getting back with Miss Pacman, and Miss Pacman coming back with Pacman, and them kissing, meeting up and making kids and coming over and creating it over and over again. That's the motherfucking metaphysics of Pacman. Pacman is the sun on its travels through the rainbow waters in order to become a black hole and take over the whole shit. And then you got motherfucking spirits that's trying to keep the order and keep things so it don't go crazy. Well, now we gotta really think about it though. Who's really the bad guy then? Like, cause like I like to say the ghost was the good guy, but why are the spirits trying to stop Pacman from ascending in that way? But we could break that down into matters of how that still would be wrong though, in so many ways, certain forms of realities. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the metaphysics of Pacman. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air.